Hello, welcome to the April edition of the Parish Line, a production of CGov, the Calcasieu Parish Government Channel, about the events, programs, and policies of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. On this month's program, we'll look at plans for the first ever AdoptAthon for our Animal Services Department, check in on programs to help parish residents who are behind on their rent payments, and we'll salute our parish engineer who retired recently after serving the parish for 32 years. First, the parish has revived a program that will help keep our roadsides clean. J.P. Booth reports on Adopt a Road.
The Adopt a Road program has been established in southwest Louisiana for many years. But when was the last time a new area was adopted and cleaned?
The program's always been in place. It's just sort of been dormant for a little while. I think that there's been sort of a renewed interest, especially since we've started our litter program. It's entering its third year, so I think there's enough of a voice out there right now in the community, not just with us, but with the City of Lake Charles and Team Green and all the other efforts that the people here are really interested in trying to take an active role. And so we're really excited about the Adopt a Road project and getting off the ground again, especially with our most recent applicant, which was the Knights of Columbus.
When an organization decides to adopt a spot, they agree to pick up litter by a roadside for a 2-year period. One of the first groups to participate this year is the St. Martin de Porres Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus is a new Knights of Columbus that just started July of last year, and we were looking for projects and things that would probably help our community and our church. And so we decided to adopt a spot out of the city limits, which this is a parish road, and clean the road. And while we started investigating that, we found a house here on the end of the road of our cleanup area that needed a lot of help with an elderly person that belongs to our church, in fact. So we decided to come out here and clean the road, and while we're here, clean up her yard, her house, do some repairs on her house, do a little cleanup on the landscape, and just make this a nicer looking community.
We chose Elliott Road because it's basically in front of our parish church, and we wanted to hopefully set a standard for the community as well as our church, and let them know that we're an active organization that are willing to get our hands dirty and help the community.
Organizational leaders agree that participating in the program not only allows for fellowship and socializing among its members, it also provides an economic benefit with the beautification of the area.
Beautifying our town, our roads are just as important as we like to dress and wear good clothes. It makes us feel good, it makes us feel proud of our community, makes us feel proud of ourselves. And I think that's a starting point that grows in a community into all levels of our life.
Put flowers, paint a house, whatever you do to make it look nicer will, I think, increase the value of homes and just be a nice look when people drive by. If they're coming to visit Lake Charles, visit our community, it looks better when you drive by and you see something nice and clean instead of maybe, needs painting, needs work done. So this is a nice thing. And it was a good way to get our members to pull together and get to know each other, because we're a new group. We've only been together less than a year. So this is a way when you do a project, you get to visit and work, and camaraderie is always a nice way to get to know somebody.
After the organization completes the application process, a Calcasieu Parish Public Works representative will issue the volunteers safety vests and provides orientation regarding helpful safety tips. Once that's done, you're ready to adopt a road.
The Adopt a Road program is a very solid program that's going to be effective for the parish in our fight against litter. When it comes to litter, it really all comes down to education for the most part. We have some very bad behaviors here in this community where it's just very simple for us to litter, and thus creates the problem along the side of the roadways. We're working hard to try to educate the community and trying to change those behaviors. We're in the schools pretty actively trying to change those behaviors before they even develop. But one thing that we can get out of this program that's very important with the Adopt a Road program is that by people seeing organizations cleaning up and picking up the road and them seeing roadways that are litter-free, it actually instills some education of itself for people to go, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be throwing this out. Maybe this is something that we need to be more aware of. And that's how you can really have an effective Adopt a Road program. That's what we're hoping for the next several years, and we encourage many more organizations to become involved. The more people out there doing that, the more visibility these litterers are seeing, and these people that are maybe hopefully going to change their ways down the road. So I'm really excited about it, and I think this is a great thing for the police jury to to have some renewed interest on.
For the Parish Line, I'm J.P. Booth.
To adopt a road for your organization, contact the Public Works Department at 721-3700. April is 911 Education Month, celebrating the role telecommunicators play in public safety. Margaret Higgins tells us how the Calcasieu 911 District celebrated this month.
To recognize the men and women who provide public safety through call taking and dispatch operations, Congress has set aside April 11th through 16th as National Telecommunicators Week. Executive Director for Calcasieu Public Safety Communications District, Robin Martin, explains.
When someone calls an emergency in, when they call for police, fire, EMS, the first people they talk to are your telecommunicators, your desk sergeants, your operators, call takers. Those are actually the first public safety responders on the scene. They are talking to you, they're taking your information, they're giving you advice, they're giving you guidance. Whatever you need, they are the first public safety people on the scene. So Congress decided it was time to recognize their efforts like they do Policemen and Police Week and Fire Weeks and such, and they gave the telecommunicators a week of their own. So during the month of April, we recognize their hard work. And in Calcasieu Parish, we recognize the work of all public safety communicators, police, fire, and EMS.
Employee days were held during the week, which included meals, recognition awards, and an open house for the public to tour the facility and meet the people who helped them during a crisis.
Today we gave out our Call Taker of the Year award, and that was given to Miss Margaret Owens, who's a 20-year veteran of our organization, and she was our Telecommunicator of the Year for her outstanding service to the district this year. We had two other awards that we gave out, and they were our Lifesaver awards, and they're given a pin that looks like this. And then we're also given certificates, and they went to Miss Carolyn Cox, who's a 10-year veteran of our organization, and Miss Jackie Hollingshead for excellent service in the handling of a call in Vinton. That just happened a couple of months ago.
I guess the thing I'm most thankful about for 911, with so many cell phones, if you do get in trouble, they can trace you wherever you may be to find you. And I think it's wonderful because they identify the entity that the information needs to go to, and that just cuts down on lost time.
This is my first time coming up here to the 911 office, and I think it is great, state of the art, and we're just blessed to have something like this here. And I think that they probably helped a whole lot of people, probably going to help a lot more. When I think about cell phones and everything, that they can track wherever people are most of the time, and it's life-saving, I think it's wonderful.
The public needs a little bit more information about what's going on up here. It's just like a little picture that Janine's got in her office in there that says that the public only sees this part when this much down below it is still working.
If you're interested in a career in public safety, contact the Calcasieu Parish Communications District at 337-439-0811. For the Parish Line, I'm Margaret Higgins.
Martin says being a telecommunicator in public safety is an exciting career, and applications are being accepted right now. Renters who may be behind in their rent in Calcasieu will be interested in the next story. Jessica Conrad has the details on a program to help them.
Over 200 applications were taken for the Housing Department's Homeless Prevention and Rapid Rehousing Program. All parish residents needing rental assistance are eligible to apply.
Anyone in Calcasieu Parish really qualifies for the program. There are some income limits for the program, but they're very high, where families or individuals must be at 80% of area median income, which means that most persons in Calcasieu Parish, they're going to qualify.
This is the second round of applications for this type of program. Earlier in the year, around 150 residents were awarded assistance. However, monies are still available through the Hurricane Ike recovery funds.
We initially took applications in January, around the beginning of the year. I believe it was January the 5th to be exact, and we took in over 300-something applications, and since then we've assisted approximately 150 of those individuals, so right about half. And so we still had some funding available, and so we took another round of applications on last Friday.
While only 50% of past applications were approved in January, Polite says that all applicants who were qualified and followed through with the process received assistance. Just one on the list is Parish resident Antonio Malvo, who lost his job and fell behind on his rent.
I'm behind about a month right now, and I hope this program can help people out, because a lot of people need help here in this area. You know, they need more programs like this with the economy the way it is now, because, you know, everybody's kind of suffering a little bit.
Polite estimates that all applications will be processed by the end of May. No more applications will be taken for the program. The process requires qualified applicants to complete a renter's workshop, which includes information on budgeting and financial literacy, as well as tenant-landlord rights.
There will actually be 2 workshops that will be done concurrent. One workshop will be on mortgage foreclosure, and the other workshop will be on landlord-tenant rights. Anyone can attend. We are asking, however, that they do register. They can go online to the police jury website at cppj.net. And look under housing, and they should be able to find the information pretty easily and enroll online. If they cannot find it online, they can call our office here at 721-3577 and ask to speak to Ms. Deborah Tate.
For the Parish Line, I'm Jessica Conrad.
The Mortgage Foreclosure Workshop is scheduled for Tuesday, April 19th. Call the Housing Department for upcoming housing workshops. You are watching The Parish Line, a production of CGov, the Calcasieu Parish Government Channel, about the events, programs, and policies of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. The first ever AdoptAthon at the Calcasieu Parish Animal Services and Adoption Center is set for April 30th. At the AdoptAthon, parish residents can get their first view of the new dog park at Animal Services, which is currently under construction. Animal Services Assistant Director Tiffany Gardner explains the idea behind the AdoptAthon.
It's a worldwide event, and it's started in New York, and it's basically the first weekend of May, and it's trying to get as many animals adopted as possible. And so we're trying to bring awareness to the community that we have tons of homeless animals that really need good homes. And our goal is to adopt 50 animals out on Saturday. We're going to have lots of events over here. We're going to have our grand opening of our dog park. We're going to have a new agility course out there for the community to use. And we're going to have a dog trainer here. We're going to have an antique car show. We'll have prize giveaways with every adoption that's done on Saturday. We'll be registered to win prizes. And we'll have t-shirts. And we've got just lots of different things going on. So we're offering shelter tours. People can come down and see what it's all about and take a look at our animals, bring their own animals out here and utilize the new park. And it's just hopefully be a fun, good day for the animal shelter. It started at, it's called Animal League, and there's information on animalleague.org. And what they did is they just basically wanted to bring awareness to, tons of homeless animals. And in that first weekend around the world, they've adopted 20,000 animals in one weekend. And some shelters are able to stay open for 36 hours straight, and some have adopted 700 over a weekend. And this is the first year that the Lake Charles has participated in it. And so we are hoping to, grow every year. This is our first year, so we're learning and trying to get awareness here and just get the community involved and get as many pets as we can out the door and get them in good homes.
Animal Services' new dog park will be finished in time for the event, and the AdoptAthon will be an excellent chance for area dog lovers to get their first look at it.
And it's going to be really nice. We're going to have it nicely landscaped and have benches out there for people to sit and bring their dogs. And we're going to have agility courses for small dogs and agility courses for large dogs. So it's going to be really nice. It's going to give some people around on this side of town and people passing through on the interstate somewhere to stop and let their dogs run around and play and exercise. And it's also a good thing when you come to adopt a pet, you can bring one you're looking at for adoption outside and bring them with your dogs, make sure they get along good, and just a good stress-free environment for the animals to be in.
The dog park will also be used for animals at the shelter, giving them extra space for their recreation time.
We have volunteers that come, and we're always looking for more volunteers, and they can bring our dogs out there and train them and let them run around and play. It's just, it's hard on animals to be in a shelter environment, and they don't get a lot of contact, and so being able to get out there and run around and play, it's really good for them. It helps them when they go home, and they're real well adjusted when they get in their new homes.
The AdoptAthon is set for April 30th from 9 to 3 at the Animal Services Facility.
We would love for everybody in the community to come out, even if you're not able to adopt. You just come out and see what we're all about and come and see in any way you can help. We always take donations. We can use blankets, dog food, cat litter, cat food. You can come out and see what we do here and get a better understanding and be able to meet with some good people, get some good information. We have a low-cost spay and neuter program. There's lots of different things we offer the community, and a lot of people don't know about it. So you can come in here and ask questions. We'll have people available to answer any and all questions and give tours and just kind of see what it's all about.
As part of the AdoptAthon, residents can adopt pets at special prices. All fees for adopting a dog 4 years old or older have been waived. For felines, the AdoptAthon features a 2-for-1 special. Adopt a cat and the fees for a second cat are waived. Another high-profile, long-term employee of the police jury has retired. Molly Morgan tells us about the career of former parish engineer Claude Smart.
In March of 1979, Claude Smart joined the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury as an engineer. His career began in an interesting way.
I'd run across some a girl that went to Northeastern in Monroe, it was Northeastern then, who was from DeQuincy, and she went home. She said she had met me, and I was from I went to school in Lake Charles in engineering, where her daddy happened to know somebody worked for the parish and heard they was hunting an engineer. The next time I saw her, she said they was hunting an engineer, so I went down there and applied, and they took a liking to me. They hired me on as an engineer for the parish, and I think my official title was like Public Works Engineer back then. I'm not positive, but they were looking for somebody to do the engineering work. The engineer then was Rodney Vincent, but he was an administrator, and he didn't have time to do the engineering, so they want somebody to do the engineering.
Claude faced one of his many challenges in 1984.
The people passed a sales tax, and we had about 1,400 miles of road then, and 300 of it was hard surface. And with that sales tax, it funded public works, and a third of it went to help pave roads, and we started paving some roads and getting started. And we started on a basic network, the larger, the more heavily traveled roads, and then in 1992, people passed another sales tax to pave all the secondary or the residential roads, and then we formed most of our network, and we abandoned some roads. We ended up probably today with somewhere around 1,250, 1,300 miles of road, and about approximately 950 to 1,000 miles of it is paved.
Several friends, colleagues, and co-workers shared their memories.
I often thought of him as that statue of the thinker, because I always felt that Claude was, I never saw Claude not thinking about things, outside the box type things. I mean, while a lot of people might have simply spent their time thinking about day-to-day issues, Claude was always about 15 or 20 years down the way. He wanted to know, what's this going to look like 15 or 20 years from now? What's the need going to be? And I'm talking about primarily transportation access type issues. How are we, what's going to be the lay of the land then? And nobody really knows, particularly in a day and time where technology is changing so quickly that it's hard to even know where we're going to be 5 years from now, much less 10, 15, 20 years. But you got to be trying to think about those things. And that was Claude's strong suit. He was always thinking out ahead.
Claude's influence is felt throughout the parish, but a couple of examples that really show his leadership were the sales tax program for roads throughout the parish, which actually occurred in 1992. And is still with us, and was recently passed to be renewed. That goes way back, and he worked on that a great deal at the time. And he's also instrumental, as well as former Administrator Mark McMurray, in creating what's called the Road and Drainage Trust Fund, which has been great for Calcasieu and the cities within Calcasieu, because it takes parish money, property tax money, matches it with other projects that are proposed from cities and drainage districts, to have a much bigger pot of money and funding for those high-profile projects. So Claude was integrally involved in that and had a great deal in helping to create it.
Claude's done a lot of great things for this parish, and particularly if you look at our road networks throughout the parish and everything, he's done an outstanding job with that, and he should be given credit for it. That's not an easy thing to do because I mean, it's when you go and you do improvements, there are always property owners that have concerns and so forth. And, you know, he learned how to navigate his way through all that, so kudos to him.
I think Claude's always had an interest in safety. That's been one of his things that he's always thought about. And in engineering, that would include both the safety side that the public sees with the roads and also the safety side with the employees at the police jury.
I guess I've had the opportunity to work with Claude the most, or as much as anyone. And I've really come to appreciate over the years just how talented of an engineer and a manager he is, and maybe more of a manager than engineering, because most everything I got to see him do was managing the team, and he did an excellent job at that in so many ways.
He was a very sharp individual. He really knew his job, and he had a concern for the parish to try to do a good job. So he was always really, once you get to know him, at first, you know, he seems gruff and all that, but there is somebody underneath there that really cared about what he did and really cared about his mission and strived hard to accomplish that mission.
Working with Claude has been, you know, really a great experience. He's very knowledgeable when it comes to parish government and how all that works, and really dealing with people and meetings, and so Claude's going to be missed very much, and it's been a great 19 years that we've served together, and going to miss just having him there, just knowing that if I needed anything or needed to know about the history on something, he was a wealth of knowledge when it came to that, and so he will be missed, and but I want to wish him the very best on his retirement.
Under his gruff exterior, he has just the sweetest, kindest heart, and I know a lot of people realize that, but sometimes, as you well know, he's quick to let you know exactly what he's thinking, and which I admire, but he also had that quality about him that was a very caring and compassionate person.
Claude Smart played an integral part in bringing Calcasieu Parish into the 21st century. For the Parish Line, I'm Molly Morgan.
That's our April edition of the Parish Line. You can get more information about all the stories on this month's program or view the Parish Line in its entirety at cppj.net. Thanks for tuning in. So long.